Hi guys, it's Sonelias and welcome back to Hearts of Iron number 4. Let's carry on with, of course, here the Battle of the Bosporus. We're going to carry on playing as Germany. Alright, game is loaded. We should keep it relatively short, similar to the first episode. We're going to try to basically keep that as the general aim to go for. Let's basically put more infantry on the border with France in this particular instance. I do want to basically start creating a new army shortly as well. But for the moment, I think I'm fine with what I've got here. I do need to increase my production of tanks somehow. So that's one of my goals to go for here, as you can see. Okay, I'm just increasing that slightly. Now, of course, we are working towards the Großraumwirtschaft.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Let's put a new general on here. Let's choose Mr. Kesselring, and we're basically going to choose here the border with Austria as being his target. Yeah, so any new units that become available will be going towards that border there. I actually might even pick a few of these from here
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
and give them to Mr. Kesselring in the meantime as well. So at least he's got a bit of working material to go with there. Increasing the pressure on Holland again. 3 days to go until this completes. 2, 1. There we go. Okay, so with this particular one here, I have, of course, got the options that I've got here. Rhineland, as well as, of course, oppose Hitler. Naval rearmament. Interesting one as well. Of course, going to go for my army innovation here. Get me nice boosters as well. Treaty with the USSR. I think that's a really nice one to get as well. But I first want to go for Romania. As well as getting, of course, the Hungarians on our side. Okay, so those two will be our goals there. Now we're still in 1936, as you can see. We're already working on this particular tree here. We don't... Well, okay, I can get the radios actually. The radios actually are quite a good one as well to add to here. 40 days, and if I'm not mistaken, that is another 70 days. So the first one will actually complete here. Okay, cool. Not going to be doing anything with the MIFO bills. First one that will complete it, of course, is the pressure on the Dutch. Now, I think I actually worked on them becoming more friendly towards us. There we go. That you can still see that listed there. Mr. Kesselring is working his magic as well. Now we should see that we're working on something here as well. That's 11 days to go. Cryptography department. I can, of course, become the master spy, and that will basically, if I'm not mistaken, gives me additional operatives. There can only be one spy master per faction, and if you're like a faction already has a spy master, then it must accept you to take over. Okay. Depends on the size of the faction. Now, at the moment, the second faction, of course, is only one person, so there's not really going to be much in there at all. 70 days to go. Let's up that level somewhat here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah, perfect. So what do we want to do? We, of course, want to go to the passive defense. That's a really nice one to get. But of course also we want to basically be able to put the squeeze on the Dutch. And of course once we got enough points here, I want to be able to, of course, choose additional advisors and so forth. Partial mobilization is in effect. We got limited exports and we got a limited conscription, which of course all contribute to our overall figures at the top here that we see. Let's get that pace again out to its maximum. We should see the excavation coming about in 15 days. And actually the pressure on the Dutch is going to be done before then again. Okay, 6 days to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Ihre Befehle?
Cool. This one will go towards the armored division. And they will actually take on the border there. Oh, yes. Actually, at the end of the last episode, we basically had, of course, here the Spanish just rising up, wasn't it? I all but forgot about that. Sorry about that, but yes,
Zuhören.
really good point. Now I need to get 3 ready.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
3 units. 1, 2.
Ihre Befehle?
Let's put them all underneath this new leader here. And the new leader will be... who are we going to choose? I think there was a particular leader here that I typically would use. Mr. Hell. Okay, and of course we can already apply a promotion to him, scavenging, which of course means we're going to be able to pick up additional weapons and so forth when we come across them, which of course is really, really nice to get. Now, at this point, I don't actually have any training for these kind of units yet, so let's actually add that to the mix. Hold on. I do want to set a location for that up there. At this point, I've got that extra division already. Do you want to take more tanks into there? I could potentially do. Yeah. So, as you can see, I've got my reinforcement set to the highest. Tanks is normal. Infantry here is the lowest. So let's go with that for now. And let's approach them with our offer once again. They got volunteers as well as, of course, land lease. So we can send volunteers here, and that means von Hell. There we go, 3. It's limited to 3. And we can send 180 planes over, if they accept, that is. Okay, cool, perfect, nice. So if I look at my Air Force, 180. Let's pick our planes that we want to send over. I want to, of course, take these guys here. We want to split this in 2. So 180, that's already 80 that we got here. So both of those are going to be moving over there. Perfect. So that leaves me with about 100 that I can put into the location as well. I really want to stick to fighters if I can. So that's 40. Have we got more fighters of that caliber? That's, if I break that in 2. Cool, perfect. We're sending that over as well. Nice, and in reality I can probably, once it gets there, I can probably split that in 2 once again. There you go, you see it flying over. Excavation completed. Now what are we going to do next? We're still in 1936. So at this point I could probably really benefit, of course, from the maintenance company. That's really, really good, of course, for our tank divisions, to get that up and running. Okay, let's get this done. So we got all of these fighters up here. We're going to set these to do intercepts as well as aerial superiority. And of course these guys here are going to do support in that region as well. And once our troops arrive, we will really start seeing that benefit of that. Mission effectiveness is increasing really, really nicely there. Close air support, yes. And of course also go for the naval strikes, but I don't think that's really what we want to do here. Yeah, but naval strikes of course are always welcome. Anyways, they're on the way, on the route, and they're going to be there on the 20th. Pressure on the Dutch is coming around. This is going to be another 15 days or so. Lessons, nice. Ah, second slot is available, perfect. Psychological warfare, that's the one that we need as well. If we're going to work on basically, of course, increasing things. The Italians are doing their thing, perfect. Nice. So, these guys can of course get another marshal above them if we were to choose to do so. Now, I don't want to basically put this guy here in charge. I really want to promote this Van Manstein. Erich von Manstein. Alright, so aggressive assaulter is an option for me. Scavenger is of course an option. That's really nice to get. Reinforcement rate. I don't have enough points for that, unfortunately. Okay, it's something to bear in mind that we basically will need that shortly. Okay, let's get going on these. Actually, let's select all of these and let's actually move them by rail. That's the quickest way of actually moving troops around. The Italians are doing their thing, perfect. Now it does look like that this area here could potentially be nice to deal with, but if I basically focus on that southern area here, you typically see that that is not going to be the best area to hold on to. 25 days to go on this one. This will complete before then. Okay, so aligning Romania. Okay, so we just lost 10 points, but that's fine. Well, I spent them. Alright, let's move all of those into there. They will help in the defense. Is it defense that we're working on? I'm not sure. No. It is not. Let's work on that offensive bit here. And as you can see, we are supporting them, but we're not really here with the best general. But, of course, Mr. Hell is en route. He'll be there in 1 day. And at that point, of course, all of his skills kick in. We can actually utilize that to our benefit here. Nice. He's there. We should start seeing, of course, the effect of his skill increases coming about. Okay, hold on. It looks like we just pushed back the others here as well, which is nice to see. And they're all engaged at this point. Let's see what we can actually do to basically alleviate the pressure on those guys down there. Oops, that's a bit too quick. Perfect. Rijksautobahn, interesting. Yeah. Hungary, putting pressure on them as well. Oh, there's not really pressure, so to speak. We are able to modify the government now. What can we do here to basically help improve our production and so forth? This is interesting, of course. Increasing our lead, our faction itself. We got Mr. Hess and we got Mr. Bormann. Both of them are interesting additions. I'm going to go for Mr. Bormann at the moment. That's going to give me another booster here. Now we do have a shortage at the moment of chromium. Let's import that from Turkey. Okay, nice.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Another victory we could basically achieve here relatively quickly. Yeah, we're going to try to basically support them as much as we can.
Ihre Befehle.
98, there we go. Nice. So let's see if I can put this into there. Psychological warfare, nicely done. Okay. Could of course work on our own encryption here if we wanted to. Just going to work on my defense for the moment. Let's actually have a look. That's explosives, demolition, intelligence extraction, diplomatic pressure. No, not what we're looking for at this point. Infiltration, not what we're looking for. Oh, let's get the lady here. She can of course help boost ideology. Fascism. Okay, so we got 1 million in terms of troops there. Let's go back to, of course, our volunteers here. Okay, perfect. Now at this point, I want to basically move this one and that one into that position there. I'm going to try to perform an encirclement there, as you can see. Should be quite successful. And we're basically defending this quite nicely, as you can see as well.
Zuhören.
Perfect.
Ausrücken.
Okay. Mechanized computing. Let's put this in place. Now we're still in 1936, as you can see, in this instance in October. Now what else can I do? I can of course basically work on my artillery here. I could of course work on my airplanes and so forth. But if I basically work on this one here, that could be quite beneficial of course for the Air Force. But I think there might be interesting bits to be done here as well. So looking at this, for example, here, I maybe want to go for the artillery one here, so the Bison. It's a really, really quick one to research. That one's a long one to go still. Let's put more pressure on the Dutch in the meantime. Okay. Nice. Move that one in there as well.
Befehle. Ausrücken.
Okay. So we should see armor being used against armor at this point. We got the Russian armor operating over there. So at this point we are really fighting against the Russians here. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay, let's take this unit here and move it into that position as well. 7 days to go. That's still a long way off. So we do have new divisions becoming available on the front line here.
Angetreten.
We're continuously adding pressure to the mix here. Alright, so that's going really, really well here, as you can see.
Ihre Befehle? Ausrücken.
Let's move more into there if we can.
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Angetreten. Ausrücken.
Okay. Let's utilize these forces here to move stuff around as much as we can.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
So basically pushing them down to the next line here. Which of course is always great. Can we in the meantime send more troops? Nope, we're still limited to that same number, but I can of course start a Lend-Lease. And of course with the Lend-Lease I can of course send them an X number of these here. So let's send them, well not 80, let's send them 20. That'll be a nice one to send. And we can of course send them some of our legacy planes. How many of them have I got here, to be honest? I've got 36, so let's send them a once-off of 30. That's of course going to be nice to see. We can of course send maybe 200 per month. That should do for now. Again, every little bit we can do, of course, to help support them here.
Los, los, los!
As you can see, this engagement is going relatively quickly, relatively well. Skill level is increasing, as you can see, and of course the Spanish are supporting me at this instance as well. So skill level of this particular person is increasing. At the same time, of course, we should see an increase here. Enforcement rate should be boosted. Now, one thing I was going to do here, I need to set the high priority on here. Should have got a higher priority in terms of the reinforcements when they come through. Yes, one thing I do need to start importing is I really need to start importing some oil. I don't have enough oil production myself. So let's look within Europe. I can of course import stuff from the Kingdom of Romania. Yep, okay, that gives them one extra factory to work with, but that's kind of exactly what I'm looking for here.
Weiter, weiter!
A bit of help on that front there. Right, so various different missions. I'm working on passive defense still. I can put more pressure on the Dutch in the meantime. We're still working on aligning Hungary, and it looks like we're going to complete the Bison before anything else. So that's perfect. Have I got any surpluses there? No, I don't. But I think it's quite beneficial to start working on the Bison really, really quickly. It has got nice benefits for us in there as well.
Bereit?
Okay.
Bereit zum Ausrücken! Los, los, los!
Dominions break with the crown. Ooh, that's interesting. Is the empire in crisis? The British Empire? Okay. Did I need to use diplomacy? Probably. Encourage colonial elite. Now that's interesting. That of course is interesting. Let's keep an eye on what's going on there. We're winning this engagement here. That's perfect. Yugoslavia requests the sale of our airplanes. Okay, divert fighter production to cover their order. Interesting. gain Yugoslavia aircraft purchase, which grants consumer good reduction for 180 days. Gain divert fighter production, which grants fighter production cost plus 10% for 120 days. Alright, let's do that for the fighters. Let's actually have a look at my production figures there. It's this one, of course. I am only producing a small number at the moment, as you can see. Let's move that towards the top. Alright, so, perfect, okay.
Achtung!
More troops become available here.
Weiter, weiter!
Let's make sure we win this particular battle here. And once we've actually won this battle here, we should be able to, of course, push them back even further.
Achtung! Achtung! Ihre Befehle!
Alright, let's have a look. These last two, I can
Befehle!
probably put them better to work up there.
Befehle!
Which means I can probably properly defend my borders here, because at the moment that is not possible.
Befehle! Greift weiter an!
Right, they're still engaged in that combat there, as you can see. Hold on. Recruitment in Europe again? Really? Ah. On the next spy, if I got a next spy. Interesting. Do I want to do any of that? Probably not. Anti-communist raids. Interesting. That will be quite interesting. Weekly stability. Sorry. Base stability drops by 10%, but then I get weekly stability of 0.7. Now, I need about 15 weeks to recover that. 120 days is, yeah, a good long period. Daily sub-communist support will drop. Let's start doing that. Let's raid on the communists. Now I know that had a consequence, of course, for me in terms of some of the levels of support we have there, but let's see how that works out. Let's see here. What's there? Ooh, look at that. 47%. Nice.
Zuhören! Ihre Befehle?
Okay.
Zeigt es ihnen!
We're winning this. It's going to be a little bit tougher. Again, the Russians are playing in. Alright, that's another few days to go.
Zuhören! Zeigt es ihnen!
Ooh, they just got reinforced. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. There's the Sturmpanzer Bison. I don't want to work on any of the other ones yet. Artillery I don't really utilize. Field hospitals, of course, are important to add as well. We're still in 1936 at this point. Pressure on the Dutch I can do shortly once again. For the moment I'm just going to keep this running here. Gateway to Europe. Days to go here. But the list progressing nicely. Now this one, as you can see, is increasing in skill level, as is this particular marshal here.
Zeigt es ihnen!
I can actually put scavenging on there, or I can put the guerrilla fighter on there. More aggressive assault or breakthrough. Increased chance of executing assault and shock tactics. I'm going to utilize this one here. Really, really nice to have.
Los, los, los!
Okay. No penetration of the armor there, which is good for us.
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Angetreten.
Okay, so we got that
Bereit zum
unit
Ausrücken.
here.
Auf geht's!
Can I send more troops over in the meantime? No, I'm still limited to the number I've got here at the moment, which is fine. No real biggie. Yes, we will win this bit here. 4 days to go, 3 days to go, 2 days to go, 1 day to go. There we go. Align Hungary. Now we're going to go for the Rhineland at this point. And then I'd like to go for the Anschluss in reality if I can. Which really shouldn't be a problem to go for. Alright, we're in December of 36. Now that is close enough to 37, I feel. So let's go for the effective study of the next items there. Rhineland is coming up. You see that this of course is dropping. Now this should actually have a negative amount on there. This is increasing and that is increasing unfortunately as well. We do have diverted fighter production, but we of course also have a reduction in consumer factories. Cool. Yeah, that one's pretty much done. Okay. We keep on trying. If we can push him down to the river, that would be amazing. So delay tactics, which of course was this one, gives me additional infantry organization of 15. This is really quite interesting one as well. It cost me about a year or so to do, but yes. Right, looks like I need to import a bit more oil here. So the Netherlands got oil as well. Interesting. I really find interesting. Okay, cool. Let's get this done here. Let's win that engagement. Ooh, I got troops in there again.
Befehle!
They keep on putting troops in there continuously. No fun, to be honest. No fun.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Alright, let's put them on that border there. Or should I first put them on the other border there with Czechoslovakia? That might be interesting. Oops, hold on. No, that's not going to work. I wanted to put them on the border here. Overlapping slightly with the other one. That's what we're looking for.
Weiter, weiter!
Okay, let's... Do I want to carry on with this? But I keep on pouring troops into there. Yeah, let's try. If we can secure that border there, that'll be amazing. typically I focus on the eastern side, but I think there's typically a tendency to go a slightly different direction on that side. So I'm going to try to keep that focus on here for now. More pressure on the Dutch. Violent is progressing nicely. We're about halfway through, 35 days to go. So about middle of February is when we should complete that as such. And a good fresh troops in there again.
Vorrücken!
Okay, hold on.
Auf geht's! Vorrücken!
Right, we're going to stop these troops from attacking anything. I'm just going to put them to work and basically help them defend the territory for the moment. Right, let them regain their organization, and once they're fully reorganized or fully back to organization levels where I want them to be, and use them to, of course, attack the enemy on the eastern flank instead. Look at that breakthrough there. That's nice work. That's really nice work. Yes, we're dug in this time. Work we're completing here, yeah, in 5 days we're going to get the maintenance divisions. And as you can see, we are actually gaining nice bits of support and such here. Now let's actually have a look at this particular fighter here. Can I improve it? Yes, I can improve its reliability. I haven't got enough points to take it to the next tier yet. That's fine, I think. Let's actually have a look at the other ones. Yeah, I'll be able to put that maintenance company on there shortly. That'll help out quite nicely as well. Oh yes, I've got a new item of production in hand. Bison. Okay, so once the next factory becomes available, I'll be able to push that through as well. Doesn't need weapons, but it doesn't need much need all of that yet. Alright, almost here. Yeah, we're going to call it a day in a second. Let's first complete the Rhineland, and once the Rhineland is complete, can I actually send more troops over already? Nope, not yet. Nice, nice, nice. February. Alright, let's get this one researched here as well. I did say we're going to call it a day shortly. But before I do so, let's first modify this one slightly to actually have a maintenance company on there, which of course makes it slightly more resilient. So it's always a nice bit of work to see. Rhineland is almost complete. Once it is complete, we will basically push into here. There we go. Oh, sorry. Depending on the Rhineland being complete, and then of course the defense having been finished. And the aerial superiority, perfect. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Details. Cool. So can I go for the Anschluss at this point? Yes, yes I can. So we can reduce the Austrian gold to reduce our info bills. Let's go for the Anschluss. At this point I do get a nice extra bit of work here. Prince of Terror is an option. The fascist demagogue is of course a nice option as well. We still got that effect there. Yes, we still see this effect here. If I can push up to 100%, that will give me a nice booster there, isn't it? Because if I look at this now, stability is influenced by the political party power strength. That actually also has an impact on the actual generation of this here. So stability actually increases that even further. So if I can actually get the demagogue Joseph Goebbels into effect there, that will count quite nicely towards that. Nice bit of pressure on the Dutch before we call it a day. And then, of course, guys, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. But in the meantime, take care. Bye-bye.